But here we go, and before we get this game underway, I'd like to thank all 400 of you for joining me for tonight's semi-final. On the left-hand side of your screen, we have Natus, Vincere, Cilium on the Jaina, still in spawn, Eternal playing on that Sylvanus, Breeze, ETC, Splendor on the Malfurion, and finally Schwimpy again on the Illidan. He's having a great day today. Beezy though on the side of Vermitrax, playing on the Falstad, Lotus on the Valor, X on there on the Tyrande, Tidaka on the Tyrael, and finally we have Schmexy Style on the Rhaegar, and it's going to be him who is soloing down in this bot lane up against the Illidan of Schwimpy. We have X on Lotus, Tidaka and Beezy hanging around this top / mid area for the time being. Tidaka just cloaked there in the mist. There's going to be a push out here to see who can get the greatest push going. We have great wave clear, coming in from Cilium and Lotus. Stun landing on both Cilium and Splendor there, but that Blizzard is going to do a lot. Tidaka has to get out of that one. Took a lot of damage and had to dodge the root as well. Had to be very, very careful with that one. As they're going to be rotating down towards this bot lane first. Illidan though, a very slippery target. He's just going to jump across to Lotus. They get a lot of damage down. They stun him up as well. And that is first blood. Very nice pick there onto Schwimpy. As Vermitrax take the lead here early on. It's very minimal XP lead, but you'll take an XP lead nonetheless. As we're going to see them pushing out this mid lane. The top lane, Beezy and Eternal trading pretty evenly, but Beezy taking a lot of hits there, has to barrel roll out of that one. And Malfurion's level 1 talent here is going to be so key. The scouting drone, because this map so early on is based around the rotations, scouting drone will just give him so much more information than he wouldn't have otherwise. And we're actually going to see Rancor as the first talent here for Valor. I said it'd be interesting to see what style he does go for, and it is indeed going to be the Rancor there. Each hatred stack increases attack speed. And for those of you that don't know, Tomb of the Spider Queen, the aim of the map is to get the soul gems which drop from the mechanical spiders at the back of each minion wave. Once you get 50 handed in, web weavers spawn in each lane and they will push the lanes down for you. They're not the tankiest of things, but they do a lot of damage to enemy structures, and they're always a little bit of a threat. You have to really focus your strategy whether you push with them. As we see Tidaka coming in here onto Infernal. Beezy does fly in as well, but they aren't able to advance. Rhaegar still in this bot lane up against Schwimpy. Schwimpy playing a little bit more passive now that he did get a little bit taken, or took a lot of damage earlier on. We see in the mid lane though, Breeze is trying to engage on here. A double stun again coming out from Exxon. Been on point with his Tyrande Lunar Flares already. They're going to get a turn in here of 15. And there it is. Although we do have Navi already ahead here. They almost have double the amount of stacks. And of course, if you kill an enemy hero that has soul gems, they don't lose them all. Well, they lose them all, but you're not able to pick all of them up. Yeah, I think you only get 3, I think, from a kill of an enemy that has gems. As back in towards this mid lane. XP is very, very even between the two, with Vermitrax only having the slightest of leads. They're going to roam down here onto Schmexy. He is going to get engaged upon here by Schwimpy. He's going to have to take the long route, but Schwimpy doing a great job of body blocking. Now gets snared up by the Malfurion wrist, but we have Tidaka coming in as well here. We're going to see a 1-for-1 trade onto Jaina. Splendor very, very low in the back line there. And considering how that started out for Vermitrax, that was a great trade for them, being able to come in and drop the Jaina, who overcommitted just a little bit too much to that engage. 1-for-1 trade. Vermitrax still holding on to their XP lead, and they could get a hand in here. Tidaka, 20 gems right now, with Falstad on 11, Valor on 7. They have 49 in total. That's what we're going to see from T-Darker. They're going to get 31 coins handed in, and this will leave them 4 short, or are they? Because Lotus is going to come in, as is Schwimpy, just to stop the turn, and they don't want to fully commit just yet. As again, Exxon trying to get the interrupt here on to Breeze, sorry, which they will do, but they are able to get a hand in as well. So this is going to be the Web Weavers coming down in favour of Vermitrax. This means that they will crawl along the ceiling up until they come across an enemy minion wave. Then they will drop down and start pushing the wave out, doing damage. Long range siege here. Here it is, mid lane one is coming down, it's going to go all the way to the towers, and this is actually not what you want to happen. You don't want them to go all the way to the towers because they take a lot of damage. Already you can see it getting bursted down, half HP already, it's more or less disappeared. Can only get one of its waves off, really didn't do too much at all, whereas in this bot lane here, it's only Schwimpy down here, and he's now going to get forced off because Smexy and T-Darker have come down. They pick up some of the gems, but they now have company in the form of Breeze. Cillium is off to the side as well, but Breeze getting stunned up. Hunter's Mark going down onto him as well. Takes quite a bit of damage there. They are trying to get some wave clear out. This Web Weaver, though, still doing some damage. Falstad fell in the top lane there to Eternal, following up by the Web Weaver. That's going to mean kills are now even. Tyrande will get caught out as well. Exxon, he's been on point with his stuns, but overstepping the mark there just a little bit. We have the talents coming in as well, and it looks like we're going to see the Manticore coming in for Valor here as well, really going fully auto-attack based. Illidan, though, he's got first aid, which would suggest he's going to go for Metamorphosis rather than the Hunt, because we've seen a different level 7 talent from him in the previous 2 games where he has taken Hunt instead. Very standard ETC build. Malfurion build's also pretty standard, as is Sylvanas. Jaina, standard as well. And it's the same on the other side too. Top lane, though, is where the action is right now. 4 members pushing up against this red team defense. They do have the Web Weaver as well. They're going to get 2 towers from this push at least, as well as the gate, as they're now going to look to push onto the fountain and onto the fort. We have Illidan roaming up as well. Rhaegar all by himself. That's a stun onto Splendor, just to try and nullify some of the healing, delay him a little bit there with his push, but they are getting a good amount of damage down. The Web Weaver will fall. This one in the mid lane, though, has also got some towers, as we're going to see the side of Navi take the XP lead here. Smexy's going to get engaged upon here. Heroics are now becoming a threat. He gets snared up. Schwimpy gets stunned. He's actually going to be able to get out of that one. Heroics. Oh, Mosh Pit. Metamorphosis. Tranquility. Wailing Arrow and Summon Water Elemental. Standard, apart from the ETC, of course, but we did expect him to take the Mosh Pit. And we're going to see the Ancestral Healing from Rhaegar. Rain of Vengeance. Starfall, Hinterland Blast, and the Judgment. Trying to go for a bit of a wombo combo there as well. As we're going to see a hand in here. Potential of 40 gems to get handed in, which would be enough for the side of Navi. They're not going to do them just yet. Now we're seeing Schwimpy and Eternal hand some in. Eternal is the only one that needs to do this. T-Darky getting snared up, can't engage here. Lotus and Smexy taking a lot of damage as they poke their heads in there as well. Breeze really wants to get that 1 gem handed in. Means a lot to him. But this is what the side of Vermitrax really need to do right now. They need to stop the hand in, but Schwimpy, he went down into that bot. Shrine, hand in, whatever you want to call it. Soul Cage. Got his turn in. And now they get the Web Weavers for the 2nd time in the row here. It's really looking good for Navi. They started off a little bit behind, and now they've transitioned into this XP lead of what is about 2/3 of a level here, but this is the Good old roam around. They're going to try and burst Splendor down, and they do so. Metamorphosis coming in here as well. Breeze taking a lot of damage on that front line. Lotus is getting zoned out here. Breeze has fallen low here. Ancestral really nicely timed onto Lotus. Tyrande will fall. T-Darker going very low as well. He will use his Eldrain's Might to escape for now. But they're trying to get onto Schwimpy. One more attack from Breeze. It's not enough. Smexy Style is gonna not fall. Yes, he will. It's a 3-for-2 trade so far. Illidan escaping with his life. That was a great engage. Amazing flank coming out. They were able to burst down Splendor. It meant that Navi had no healing for the rest of that fight. And it almost cost them because Schwimpy got so low there. But it was Navi who were able to persist. They kept on going. Illidan took a lot of the focus, was able to get out, and Navi take that trade 3 kills to 2. As they still had the Web Weavers in the mid and top lane as well, providing pressure. We have Illidan moving down towards this easy camp down in this bot lane, try and get some siege going down there. T-Darker sitting on 50 gems right now. He and one other member of his team could get a hand in. They have 62 in total. But it's just about actually being able to engage here. They are fighting upper talent would they engage right now. They're so close to this 13 though. Speaking of those 13 talents, Malfurion after that last engage has indeed learned his lesson. He's got that ice block. If they see an engage coming onto him, he will ice block, take no damage, no CC, will be put into status for the remainder of that, or for the duration, which is 3 seconds. It's a long time. And they're in fact just going to go straight onto Eternal and going to get bursted down so quickly. That's Sylvanas going down. They'd like to ideally back out here, which is why the Starfall's being used to slow the re-engage coming out from Navi there. That's what they wanted, a 1-throw engage in their favour. It now allows them to get this turn in and gain some more map presence here. It's now about which lane do they focus with these Web Weavers. We have BZ here in this bot lane, clearing out the Siege Giants. And this is not a bad position for a Web Weaver here. With BZ clearing these, the Web Weaver will be able to get a good push on and should slowly push it, whereas in the top lane it's just going to go straight for the towers, which is why we have 4 members of Vermitrax up here. Web Weaver doing some good damage here. They can't really find an engage here. That 4 of their heroics are on cooldown to only 2 of Navi. They want to be really careful here. The only one that is up is that Ancestral. We have Judgment up in 4, but they really want to wait those extra 15 seconds when the Hinterland Blast is available as well to burst someone down. They could go on to Cillium or Eternal and be able to do that. And we also have the Ice Block, of course, the improved Ice Block on Jaina for the exact same reason as Malfurion, which means, like we saw in the last engage, they can only really go on to either A, Schwimpy, who's very slippery, or B, Eternal. As T-Darker just using his smite there to give him a little bit more move speed to see if he could get an engage, find something, but instead he just scared off the side of Navi. The Bruiser camp here is up, and it looks like that's where Smexy, Exxon and BZ are going to go. They're going to try and burst this one down, but Navi, they're going to reply with some wave clear in mid, push forward, grab themselves some gems, and they have enough to get a hand in. They need 31, they have 39, and they're going to be able to get this for free. BZ gets a hand in Schwimpy too. And this is going to be the Web Weaver's 3rd time the Web Weavers are getting handed in now for Navi. They're going to be spawning. And in fact they're going to go for the boss here as well. Tetcher, my fellow caster who was helping me out earlier today, calls this one the throw pit because this map is so small, but they don't notice that they threw the Lunar Flare up. Instead they're just going to push mid with this and see what they can do. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this trade. They can't exactly fight, I guess, because they would have been fighting upper talent. They're now going to rotate towards bot, clear this web weaver out, but the top lane, we not only have the boss, but we still have that web weaver. That's going to do a lot of damage, and we could see a forced engage down here as well. The rotation is coming down. We actually haven't seen a mosh pit get hit for Breeze. Could be key in one of these fights. And I really like this coming out from Navi. They're splitting their resources. They have their team down in this bot lane while the boss fights in the top, as well as the web weaver. They've sent 3 members up there. They're going to lose a lot of damage onto a keep here, and it looks like it's going to be this bottom one that will fall, and this could be the beginning of the end for Vermitrax. As soon as one keep falls, they lose a lot of map pressure, and now Navi could simply rotate up towards there, towards the top part, and get even more XP. Yeah, Schwimpy and co, they're going to grab these easy camps here, and they could get engaged upon here. T-Dark are going to go in here. They are trying to go onto Schwimpy. They engage on onto Beezy, or Breeze, sorry. And that is him going down. The Ancestral being used onto Lotus. Schwimpy taking a lot of damage here as well. Malfurion is positioning over towards him. Smexy Star going low, as is T-Darker and Beezy as well. That's a 1-for-1 so far. T-Darker using his move speed to get away. Cillian mounted up, gets dismounted by the Owl. Not able to get the slanter X on. Cillian getting stunned as well. A 1-for-1 trade here. But you've got to think that that trade certainly favours the side of Navi. It's relieved this pressure from them in the mid lane, whereas there's still a lot of pressure down here in bot going towards the side of Vermitrax. They have to clear these giants out here. They can't capitalize on this pick. They got a little bit more XP and that's about it. 3 blood for bloods though, they could be key. Being able to burst someone down so quickly. They were able to burst down Breeze very, very quickly on that ETC. We saw it in that engage. The Judgment, Hinterland Blast, and then a few blood for bloods meant that he melted so quickly. But then there's not enough damage left for everyone else. We saw them try and go onto Schwimpy. He was able to get out. There's a hand in though. 35 gems going in. Now this is one of the things I'm not a big fan of about Tomb of the Spider Queen. The early game is so fast paced, and then it settles into a very slow, relaxed style of play where you just clear waves out, try and get hand-ins. Blackheart's Bay is you get a lot more for your hand-ins than you do on here, because the web weavers obviously aren't as strong as a straight up bombardment. Schwimpy gonna get a hand in here. As are the side of Vermitrax, or at least they're going to try to. They're going to engage onto Beezy here. Blood for bloods. Again, they're going to get melted by that Wailing Arrow doing so much. Silences 4 players, and Ancestral couldn't come out. Lotus having to vault away. A panic there from the Rain of Vengeance. Not going to hit anything. Hinterland Blast as well. Only hit 1 or 2 members. T-Darker very low. Exxon going to get chased down here by Schwimpy. And T-Darker, unless he has his Elduin's Might up, is going to fall. He will use it to get out. Schwimpy, however, will mount up, get stunned, and now they could go and grab this keep. That's exactly what they're going to ping onto here. They are 4 versus 3. And there is top keep down. That's 2 keeps now, with only 1 remaining for Vermitrax. Which means they're going to have these catapults spawning in 2 lanes. They've got 3 approaching this bottom lane. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Navi take away this hard camp. There's the first bit of core damage coming in as well. As we're actually going to see Navi back away from this one. The key moment in that last engage though was the Wailing Arrow. It hit 4 players. It stopped Tyrande healing. It stopped Rhaegar healing. It meant that Vala couldn't peel for herself. It hit everyone but the Falstad. But Falstad already used his combo. They're going to go on Splendor here. They burst him down. He couldn't even ice block. And now they're trying to get onto Schwimpy. They're great at getting these picks, but it's what follows where they struggle. They're trying to force something here. They just can't get onto anyone. Mosh Pit still hasn't really been used. It hasn't been key in this fight. Cillian does get slowed, having to use that bolt as the level 20 comes in. Easy. Flying across there. Not able to do much. Level 20 is very close, however. It's about half a level away. For Vermitrax, we see 2 Bolt of the Storm. Sylvanas and Jaina, of course, they're getting engaged upon. Storm Shield will help anyone out, and that Hardened Shield, as soon as now ETC gets engaged upon, he activates that Hardened Shield plus the Stone Skin. He should be able to survive, and we're going to see a very aggressive move here, but the pings are going down. Or at least we see Schwimpy going for this bottom lane, and we could see a core rush. This boss is getting bursted down very quickly because of the Hunter's Mark and the damage coming out. They're going to grab this, they're going to need to base. We see Schwimpy already on the core. He's trying to take this shield down. Cillian, Breeze, Eternal are also here. Lotus, though, going to be the one-man defense for now. They're able to force Navi away. Did it just about right there. Just in time they get there. And it's just Splendor defending. They're going to engage onto Breeze here. The Hardened Shield and Stone Skin coming down. Wailing Arrow hitting 3 players. They're not able to do it. That's what I was saying about the Hardened Shield and the Stone Skin. That's the first time T-Dark has actually fallen because he's initiated too hard. And now that's the Warrior down. We could see them push for this core. But instead, they might just play it safe here. They need to go and defend the boss. They've got a Web Weaver in mid lane as well. That's going to be 1 tower going down. Potentially a second as well. Top towers. This boss doing work for now, and there's still a Web Weaver behind it, which I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cillian or Breeze just try and take out here. Vermitrax, they're now also going to grab their hard camp away. This was something I expected Navi to do a lot earlier when they initially took the keeps and won a couple of team fights, or traded evenly on team fights, because they've kept Vermitrax on the back foot, and that just would extend their lead. We have 30 gems in total, as you see in the top left here, for Navi right now. And that would be enough to get them a hand in. They have 52 already. They need to stop Schwimpy handing in here, but they are 4 versus 5 now. T-Darker joins them. They have double Storm Shield, the increased Hinterland Blast, and the Hardened Shield onto Tyrael. They're going to stop Schwimpy here, get a lot of damage down. Cillian, the Ice Block coming in onto him. They're going to try and burst him down. Breeze's Mosh Pit not hitting anything. Jaina falls as soon as she comes out of that improved Ice Block. Breeze is on about half HP. The totem being used there from Rhaegar. 2-man stun onto Splendor and Breeze. Splendor, though, I believe still does have its Ice Block. Not going to use it just yet. He's just using his heal to keep himself topped up. They're now going to try and go onto Schwimpy, and this could be the fight the Vermitrax were looking for. Schwimpy being forced to Metamorphosis out of that one. I'd like to see them take away this hard camp now and then push on towards this mid keep. They've already got 1 hard camp in this mid lane, and doubling up would be a great thing for them here. Without Jaina's wave clear as well, there's really not much, apart from maybe Illidan jumping in, Sylvanas potentially, that they can effectively clear these waves with. We're going to see the root coming out, as this is going to be the first keep now falling for Navi. Are they going to follow up with the tower? No real need right now. They don't need to push the XP, as Illidan actually got a hand in the spot lane. Schwimpy, sneaky beaky like. That's going to be Web Weavers, as they're setting up a gank squad here. I like this. In fact, no, they're going to back because there's a lot of pressure on their core. They could have engaged here, but I like this. This is the safe option here. 4 catapults in the top, 4 in the bot. The core shield nearly fallen, as they also need to clear out these Web Weavers too, which are going to go pretty deep here in top and bot. They're going to engage onto Splendor here. He's not able to get a nice block off. Hinterland Blast hitting Schwimpy and Cillian in the back there. T-Darker getting topped off by that Ancestral Healing, as Cillian has to use that improved Ice Block. Lotus, though, will take him down. Bit of a waste of the Rain of Vengeance, though, but these core is taking damage. 90%, 80% now. They have to back away from this one. Schwimpy now could go in here. He doesn't have the Metamorphosis up. It's up very, very soon. That will give him the increased attack speed. In fact, he has the demonic form, so he has that attack speed all the time. 73% core now, a 2-for-0 exchange in favour of Vermitrax. And now the shield is regenning. Schwimpy, sneaky beaky, as is Breeze. They could either A, look to try and push this one, B, pick off Beezy here. If they pick off Beezy, it is going to be great. He does have the barrel roll though, and he's going to face check. No, he's not. A little bit worried for him there. As they can now rotate down to this bottom lane. Beezy going to be the man clearing waves right now. He does have that flight available. The improved Hinterland Blast doing so much damage. Kind of a counter to the A Hardened Shield and B Storm Shield, just because it kind of nullifies it, adds that extra bit of damage in. And of course the increased range as well is just going to hit more members on the back line. Last fight we saw it. We saw the initial engage onto Splendor, but the increased Hinterland Blast, it's the Call of the Wild Hammer, ended up hitting Cillium and Schwimpy as well, which meant that Cillium was able to fall as well. Now they're going to look to maybe grab their hard camp, or are they going to set up and engage? BZ needs to fly down, and he does so. Into the lane. They in fact engage onto Breeze here, not committing too much. Schwimpy, the Wailing Arrow, hitting 2 members. There's not enough follow-up. Just the Hinterland Blast, which Metamorphosis was used to dodge. Breeze is gonna not fall here. T-Darker still alive here in the middle somehow. ETC first man to fall. T-Darker still alive. Gets the Ancestral as well. That's the 2-for-0. They're now going to go on to Cillium and Splendor. Smexy Style is going on to Cillium. Splendor, you'd like to think, is going to fall. And there it is. 3-for-0 in favour. Make that 4-for-0 in favour of Vermitrax. Pings going on to this core. Are they going to be the team to stop Navi here today? I think they might be. Eternal, last man standing now. And wow, this has been a great game coming out from Smexy Style & Co. Exxon, first man here. They're going to go on to Eternal. Just let him get some damage down. But 5 men onto a core. Once that shield goes, it is oh so squishy. And great game. Valor's going to go down. It doesn't matter too much. 20% now. Tyrande again doesn't really care. 5%. Rhaegar, there it is. GG. Really well played to Vermitrax. Taking out Navi, who was seeded 2nd in this tournament. They move on to face